This is Hollow Knight Silksong. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is the long-awaited sequel to Hollow Knight. The devs have taken their time, and they've crafted a new, sick, twisted world for you to explore, and for you to fight things in. So that's kind of exciting if you're into this game. So be prepared for emotional turmoil, monsters, bosses, various abilities that you will have to master in order to become more powerful, in order to handle the threats that exist out there in this weird destruction landscape. Whatever that means. But no, it's really quite an interesting selection of unique challenges, interesting, intricate map design where you're kind of lost unless you find yourself with a map or something like that, and then a selection of bosses that are quite repetitive. Like, it'd be nice if they had a little bit more variation in them in regards to their attacks on you, but you know, it gets the job done. I think if you liked the first Hollow Knight experience, you'll be right at home with the second one, as it does provide a new world, a new place for you to visit, a new set of challenges, like I said, new weapon sets, new skills, new things to do, new enemies to conquer, new challenges along the way, little side wishes to battle and do, characters to chat with, unique little dialogue bits that should intrigue you and just kind of make you understand or want to understand what the mystery is as to, like, the situation and what you've gotten yourself stuck into. And it's quite intriguing as you're sort of, you know, you start the game, you're being brought in, you're being, you know, slowly dragged into this position. And, yeah, you're just trying to survive, and then, you know, build up your arsenal, take out some enemies, and then when you die, you go back to where you were, and you do it all over again. That's where the repetition and the Souls-like element comes into play. You know, a little bit Metroidvania-esque styling and stuff, but you know, it's very, very much your typical experience from like Hollow Knight 1. It's just kind of been refined and adjusted a little bit more. Over 200 ferocious foes, so yeah, over 200 enemies, which is kind of cool. The music in this game is simply stunning. I think that was by far my favorite thing, outside of the art direction, which I think honestly looks fantastic. Like, this game I think looks visually great. The music in this is really, really good. From eerie to unsettling to really bombastically intense. The audio carries a lot of this, which is really, really quite exciting. So yeah, lots of weird Fallen Insect Kingdom areas and crazy stuff going on as you're the lethal Hornet hunter on a way to experience what's going on in this world. I did not mean to do that. So anyways, from a technical standpoint, it does seem like we're getting a like 1440p kind of resolution, and it goes up to 120 FPS. So if you have a, you know, if you have a TV to support that, you can enjoy a higher frame rate, which it is quite fluid. It does seem like there's the odd, maybe you call it a stutter, but like, it does seem like the odd situation. There might be some performance stuff. I don't think you'll notice that as much when it's like uncapped, but like, yeah, anyways, it's pretty good, nice looking. I mean, it's definitely got like a very specific vibe and aesthetic going on. Like, it's more about art direction and vibe than like, you know, necessarily like super smooth resolution, because it's a bit more of an art aesthetic. Why am I struggling so much to get over here? You're very annoying. Does anybody tell you that, creature? But yeah, that's what we're kind of dealing with. So super high frame rate, super fluid experience, intense precision required in order to survive and tackle enemies and make your way through this grim environment. And then boss fights, like I said, it's a little repetitive in nature on this one, which could have been handled a little bit better, but like it's honestly not too bad. I don't know, I think you'll find this one to be fine if you're a Hollow Knight fan. If you're not familiar with Hollow Knight, it's gonna be a bit of a daunting task for you to get through this game, just because it is, you know, kind of difficult. It's not necessarily easygoing, like it is quite a challenging game. And as I said, like, it doesn't really let you know anything, if that makes sense. Like, it'll be like, oh, collect 25 of these spine things, but you don't even know what the creature is, and there's not like really a glossary to find out. You're just sort of sitting there being like, eh? And the dodge mechanic, you don't even get this off the bat, which is kind of annoying. Like, you actually, I think it was like a couple hours in before I could dodge, but wow, let me tell you, dodging just like an absolute world of difference, being able to like dodge around compared to the beginning of the game where I was doing bosses where I couldn't dodge. I was just like incredibly frustrated. But yes, the dodging has genuinely changed the way I'm able to play and interact with this game, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this area is a little bit more straightforward, but like a lot of the areas are a lot more like mysterious in the terms of like progression and where you're going and what you're doing, which can be frustrating, but you know, it's all up to what you expect and how you want to play. Wow, I died that fast? I didn't even realize. Sometimes your health just like vanishes and you're just like, what is going on? How did I die so fast? This is ridiculous, like kind of annoying, but yeah, your mileage is going to vary based on, you know, where you're going and the challenges you're facing off against and what foes you're trying to take out. And it's just like a really moody, depressing kind of atmosphere and experience, but there's like interesting dialogue and discussion, and like I said, lots of interesting like creatures and enemies and things that you can face off against. So you'll either find that to be, you know, intriguing, or it may not be your thing, I guess you would say. I don't know. It'll either be for you or it won't be. That's the biggest thing. Is this one? It's like, I love the atmosphere, the art direction, the aesthetic of it. The gameplay's really neat. The character's kind of cool. But it's just like, yeah, you gotta really be geared up for this type of a game. Otherwise, it is going to emotionally be a bit much and a bit traumatizing. But they give you the tools, and it's, you know, whether or not you are able to handle the intensity of it, I guess, would be the biggest thing. But like, it is funny because to me it seemingly gets easier the further I go along in it. Like, the more, like, the better equipment I get. It seems to be a thing that's actually benefiting me greatly, which is kind of funny because it's like, yeah, it was really annoying dealing with that, but because there's like a robot thing I just took out before this, and I gotta tell you, it was way easier than the previous things that I was fighting earlier in the game, and I don't think it's a skill improvement on my part at all. But anyways, yeah, lovely setup. If you've been waiting forever, your whole life for this, maybe you'll be pleased by it. I don't know, but I would say it's going to be a little harder for new players to onboard, but you know, in society, hype is everything, and Silksong, whether or not it'll be for you, will be intriguing, and I'm very curious to see what people's thoughts are on this one, because I do think they've kind of nailed what people were sort of wanting if they were fans of the series. I'm just curious if this is going to be something that, like, truly connects with everyone else along the way, right?